An 8-month investigation by the NEWS4 I-team reveals thousands of hard workers around the D.C. region are being exploited and cheated on payday. It's called wage theft, and it's happening at some of the biggest construction sites in our area. Tonight, Scott McFarland takes us undercover where it's happening and explains why it's impacting us all.
In a region known for its landmarks, the skylines are frequently filled with cranes soaring upward. But beneath them, there's often an underground racket. Does that happen a lot?
Yes, all the time.
This construction worker agreed to talk with the NEWS4 I-team, though it could impact his livelihood.
Ever get paid late?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's in cash.
Yeah, you sometimes get paid late, sometimes you don't get paid at all.
We found thousands of construction workers face the same abuse. Wage theft, not getting the rightful pay due under the law.
It's a massive problem in the District of Columbia.
And D.C. Attorney General Karl Racine has filed a series of wage theft lawsuits against 20 defendants since 2019, leading to at least $4 million in restitution for the workers and penalties.
They're not getting overtime?
They're not getting overtime.
They're not getting paid days off?
They're not getting paid days off.
This D.C. worker says it happened to him, talking to us and our Telemundo 44 partner.
Sometimes they paid me less. They always stole an hour or 3 or 4 from me.
Twice while working as a carpenter during the pandemic, he says the money was not there on payday.
Sometimes, yes. They gave me bounced checks, personal checks. They did not have money.
The I-team found one of the most common forms of wage theft is when a company misclassifies a worker as an independent contractor instead of a full-time worker. Experts say that's to avoid providing benefits.
Some of the workers are not legal here, so they have to work any way they can.
Here's how it can work. A general contractor in charge of a project will hire subcontractors. Those subcontractors will then use what's called labor brokers, who find various workers to do the job, such as electrical, plumbing, and drywall. Those labor brokers decide how to pay the workers.
The labor broker oftentimes gets workers who will accept under-the-table payments in cash that are less than the amount of wages that they're due.
The NEWS4 I-team found labor brokers working from the nation's capital to the capital of Virginia.
It is a very difficult job. We pick up heavy things.
This worker at a major construction project in downtown Richmond told us via a translator he's been the victim of wage theft too. Paid in cash and paid late.
Do you get all the overtime you've earned?
I don't know.
You don't know?
They pay me, but I don't know if they pay me all the overtime. I don't know.
So on this payday, the I-team watched as he went to pick up his paycheck not from an office or work site, but from a small market.
Gracias.
He just told me your check is inside the store.
He opened it to find a check and $40 cash. Down the road, the I-team also watched other workers getting paid one by one in this shopping center parking lot by another labor broker.
I'm Scott with NBC4. We have a few questions about the payments being made here in the parking lot.
After getting complaints from some workers.
Is everything on the level, sir?
Yes, sir.
Why in the parking lot? Why out of a truck?
This woman, who says she's worked for him for 12 years, jumped in, saying the company is not breaking any wage laws.
He always paid me well. I have benefits and everything. Where we get paid, that's our decision.
But the I-team found not all employees are happy. The company is named in a recent lawsuit, accused by a former worker of being compensated in cash with no payroll deductions and sometimes not getting proper overtime. The company denies the allegations and their attorney had no comment.
We see a construction worker getting paid partly by check, partly with cash. Is that a red flag?
Absolutely.
Attorney Matthew Handley has sued a number of companies for wage theft and says we all pay the price when workers are exploited.
Because the tax revenues that then come into the city coffers are much less than what they otherwise should be.
And he says it hurts contractors trying to do the right thing, since companies engaging in wage theft often are able to make lower bids for projects.
If the lowest cost provider is cheating, then the competition has every reason to cheat as well in order to compete for those jobs.
D.C. has some of the stiffest laws in the nation and now holds the general contractors and subcontractors responsible if they know of any laws being broken by brokers. Virginia just cracked down too. The General Assembly approved new wage theft legislation last summer. So it caught us by surprise when we found where that Richmond construction employee, paid partially in cash, was working.
What are you building?
At the General Assembly building.
Building the new complex for the state legislature itself. The legislature which just passed the new law.
If you see a construction site out there, much more likely than not, there's wage theft going on.
A sign of how pervasive wage theft really is.
This is the model that it is in the city. I mean, it's happening everywhere.
The general contractor working on that General Assembly building is not named in the lawsuit and declined to comment to the News 4i team. But we want a reaction from the legislators who work in that complex about the allegations. Both the Speaker of the House and the Senate Majority Leader in Virginia instead referred us to the Department of General Services, the state agency that's in charge of government buildings. In a statement, the agency said, "We take any allegations of wage theft seriously. When we were made aware of these allegations last year, we reported it to the proper authorities." Scott McFarland, News 4i team.
The I-team also reached out to the subcontractor named in that lawsuit who told them they denied the allegations and acted properly. For more on this story, visit the NBC Washington app and click on Investigations.